coming up from the Northeast Live Studios in Guwahati. Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. Elections in Nagaland are due in about 6 months' time. Now that the Naga issue is not resolved yet, what would the elections in Nagaland be like? What are the issues that the political parties could possibly harp on? Will parties like the NDPP, NPF and the BJP once again promise to work for the resolution of the Naga problem? During the earlier assembly elections, people and parties in Nagaland raised the slogan, "No solution, no election." Is that the case now as well, or is that a slogan long forgotten? Has the state and its people suffered because the Naga problem is lingering on without a solution? If so, in what way? Minus the Naga problem, what are the other major issues that concern Nagaland and its people? To discuss the subject, I am joined from Kohima by Mr. Ajo Nenu, leader of the NPF Legislature Party. Also in Kohima, I have Mr. Monlumo Kikon, advisor to the Chief Minister and BJP national spokesperson. Joining me as well is NDPP spokesman Mr. Meren Tosi Jamir, and also on the show tonight is Nagaland Congress President Mr. K. Terry. Gentlemen, welcome to Northeast Tonight. Let me first go to you, Mr. Meren Tosi Jamir, the spokesman of the NDPP. I cannot call the NDPP the ruling party this time. I used to call the NDPP the ruling party because NPF is also the ruling party and the BJP is also the ruling party. The main opposition is the Congress. Now, Mr. Meren Tosi Jamir, now that everybody thought that this time around the Naga issue will be resolved before the elections. We don't know whether that is going to happen or not. If that happens, what will be the elections look like? Will the elections be delayed? Or if that doesn't happen, if the Naga issue is not resolved before the elections, what will be the issues? Are you all going to once again say that vote us to power and we will try to resolve the Naga issue? Is that what you are going to say again?
Good evening, Wasbir.
Good evening.
It's good to be back here again after a long time.
Welcome, yes.
Yeah, thank you for highlighting the issue. Yes, as you have said, we have been waiting for the resolution to the Indo-Naga issue, and we are still expecting a positive response at the earliest before the elections are announced. Our leaders are working tirelessly. Both the NDPP, BJP, NPF, all the elected members, I know, led by the Chief Minister, are working night and day to discuss with the center how to bring about this early settlement. And the people are expecting that something positive comes about before any general elections are held in the state. However, in the eventuality that there is no solution or settlement to the issue before the elections, then yes, as a political party, especially the NDPP, we have established our party as a regional party from Nagaland with our first and foremost concern being the resolution to the Indo-Naga political issue. And therefore, in case there is a stalemate between the negotiating parties and the elections are to be held, we will definitely take forward our agenda of bringing about a resolution to the Indo-Naga issue after the elections, and that will be our slogan. So we continue to to hope.
Right.
We continue to impress upon the government of India and the negotiating parties to bring about a settlement before any elections are announced in the state.
Right, absolutely, totally unambiguous, totally clear-cut statement by Mr. Merentosi Jamir, leader of the NDPP, saying that, their priority has always been to try and bring about a resolution to the Naga issue. If the elections have take place without the resolution, they are once again going to raise this issue and say that that is going to be their topmost priority. Very clear on that, NDPP. Let me turn to Mr. Monlumo Kikon, BJP national spokesperson. Mr. Kikon, almost the same question to you. Everyone is basically, everyone is waiting. Everyone is waiting for a resolution of the Naga problem. Now elections are due. Now what is it going to be basically your election agenda? If a solution comes before that, things will be different. But if a solution doesn't come, what are you going to talk to the people?
Thank you, Wasbir, and thank you for inviting me to your show once again.
Welcome.
I'm happy that I share the concern of all the Nagas as well as all the political parties when it comes to the Naga issue. The aspiration and hope of the Naga people is that there should be an early resolution. And this has been the desire ever since negotiations started. So, to put it into the proper context, this is not a new desire. This is not a new aspiration of the people. As we all know, the talks have been happening for a long time. And if you compare to the previous elections starting since 1998, we have had various slogans of various political parties when it comes to the peace process. But at the heart of all the political process, the wish of the people have remained the same, that there should be a peaceful and early resolution of the issue. Now, coming back to the ruling party in the state of Nagaland, there has been no stone left unturned and no efforts that has not been made towards facilitating the resolution of the issue. I feel that more than ever before, all the leaders have come together unitedly time and again,
right,
to ensure that there is a resolution of this issue. So
okay.
I think yeah.
More or less, Mr. Monlumo Kikon, more or less the BJP is also attaching the topmost priority to the Naga issue. I have a lot of questions. It's not on the Naga. Today's discussion is basically not on the Naga peace talks. My question is, if there is minus the Naga peace talks, what are the key issues confronting the people of Nagaland, and what will be the role of the political parties? I will elaborate on that. Mr. Kikon has also made some important points. That is, the BJP also attaches topmost priority to try and resolve this issue, indicating that that is also going to be their election agenda, election promise, if a solution is not arrived at by then. I will come to Mr. K. Terry last in this opening round for the simple reason that he is the only, I would say, opposition leader in the panel at this point in time. Let me go to Mr. Ajo Neno. Mr. Ajo Neno, I was asking the two other esteemed panelists tonight that, if elections are to happen without the Naga issue being resolved, what is it that you are going to tell the people? Is the NPF once again going to tell the people, vote us to power and we will once again try to resolve the Naga issue? Is that going to cut ice? Do you think the people have heard this for a long time now?
Well, Mr. Wasbir, first of all, thank you for having me once again.
Welcome.
I'm a latecomer. What you have asked my other two friends, I am not aware about that, but we're still waiting for the BJP slogan to happen. We went to elections in 2018 with the BJP slogan called Elections for Solution. To my understanding, election for solution means go for election, elect a popular government, and under that popular government will come a solution. So we're still waiting for that to happen. But in case it doesn't happen, we will go for election once it is imposed, and right after the election, any government that is to be formed, we will pursue from day one as far as the Naga political issue is concerned, with utmost sincerity.
Everybody has been clear tonight. You know, Mr. Ajo Nenyu, the NPF legislature party leader, who is also a senior member of the core committee, also says that but he has given a twist to the opening remark. I'll take a comment from Mr. Monlumo Kikon slightly later. But Mr. Ajo Nenyu has also said that, you know, if the solution does not happen before the elections, they will in any case go to the elections, and whichever government is formed from day one will have to work once again earnestly for a resolution of the Naga problem. Let me take the view of the Nagaland Congress President, Mr. K. Terry. Mr. Terry, you know, the Congress has been the dominant player in Nagaland for many, many years. And today, of course, you are in the opposition. You don't have that clout which you once enjoyed. You held the dominant position in Nagaland. You had tall leaders from your party like Mr. Hokesi Sema, Mr. S.C. Jamir and others. Now, what is your stand? Elections and after elections we have seen Naga issue is lingering. Last elections there was this slogan by various people saying that no solution, no election. Do you think that stands now? Do you think people have forgotten about it? What is your take?
Thank you for sharing lessons. First of all, in my perception, if people want solution, if the government of the day wants solution, if there is a political will, nothing can stop. Because the two framework agreements, they are agreement between government of India and the people of Nagaland, and it is signed before the view of the world. And also, agreed points are well declared. Why the Nagaland state government should not insist to implement the political solutions. Solutions are already there. But this government is saying, resume talk. This government is saying, flag and constitutions have not been rejected, and post-solution, it will be negotiated. This government is saying that talk should continue. The people of Nagaland understand that working agreements, 7 NPG troops, is for Nagaland. The impact will be only to Nagaland, mostly. Of course, if somebody doesn't want solution, there will be no solution. We have offered talk 31 years ago, 25 years of negotiation. Do you think any wise man should continue to negotiate for more than this? Now, are they waiting for their death? They want to close the chapter with their death or what? This is the situation.
Mr. Terry, are you trying to suggest, Mr. Terry, that the government of the day is deliberately trying to delay the peace process, deliberately trying to delay a solution? Is that the suggestion you are trying to make? Let us be clear.
Deliberate. They are the one who doesn't want solution. They want to fish out of troubled water. Otherwise, if the chief minister says, I will implement the agreed points, who can stop him? The 60 MLS are with him. He is the only one saying no, talk should continue. He is the only one saying that everybody need to be accepted. They have already accepted, they have already agreed, they have already signed.
Who has
now,
signed?
More?
Who has signed? Because the NSC and IM is saying...
Moiva has signed.
No.
And 7 working committee agreement have signed.
Okay, okay. So that is a twist which Mr. Terry is trying to give. I will come to Mr. Monlumo Kikon. Two things you have to answer. Mr. Monlumo Kikon, there are two questions for you. One, Mr. Ajo Neno said that they are still waiting for the elections for a solution. That was your party's slogan. And it is your party which is at the party in dominance at the central government. Does it, I can say that indirectly, Mr. Ajo Neno is saying that you have a role to play. They said that they are still waiting for BJP's election campaign slogan last time, elections for a solution. What happened to that? And then I'll come to the question, the issue raised by Mr. Terry. Yes.
Thank you, Wasbir. Let me just quickly situate the entire issue raised by Azod in the context. In 2018, early part before the election, there was a atmosphere of expectations, because after 2015 framework agreement and after November 2017 signing of the agreed position with the NNPGs, there was an atmosphere of hope in the state of Nagaland, and people were of the impression that there will be a resolution of the issue at the earliest because of these two important events. So around that time, our party leader had specifically made a statement. So today it is misunderstood as a slogan. So if you properly analyze why it was said and on what basis it was uttered, it is very clear that it was in support of the atmosphere of hope that existed at that point of time. Secondly, I want to slightly comment on the issue by the Congress president. In the context of the Naga issue and the role of our chief minister and also the state government, I think we should not be removed from reality. We should have a realistic assessment. If solution was up to the state chief minister, it would have been done long time back. State government is a facilitator. And as a facilitator, you don't have the final say. And for such negotiation, every seasoned mature politician will tell you that negotiations are tricky, but it is in the best intention of the state government, the government of India, that the issue is being driven. Political will is also there and has been exhibited many times. I don't want to get into debate with the Congress on what they did during the 2004 and 2014 period that they were in the government in the center. It is not to discuss that or debate that. But I want to bring the discussion to the real agenda, that everyone's concern is for an early resolution of this issue. And this has been the cry of the Naga people since long back. And in support of that, government of India has shown time and again political will to resolve it. So I would say that far removed from what is actually happening. To accuse the chief minister or anybody of delaying the.
I'll come to Mr. Ajo Neno, but before that, let me come to Mr. Merentosi Jamir. Mr. Merentosi Jamir, okay, the topmost agenda, as you have said right at the beginning, that was also corroborated by Mr. Monlumo Kikon and Mr. Ajo Neno saying that from day one, whatever government comes will deal with the Naga issue. But my question is slightly different. There are other real issues facing the people. There is the issue of unemployment. Nagaland has 20% unemployment at this point in time. State like Meghalaya has only 2% unemployment, and even then, people are out on the streets of Shillong. 3-4 protests, people are defying prohibitory orders and shouting. There was violence in Shillong. But whereas the unemployment percentage in Nagaland is about 20%. Now, these are the real issues facing the ordinary people. What about the road connectivity, the condition of the road? We have the Dimapur-Kohima road, 100 kilometers. It has been taking years. Now it is 70 years after independence. We don't have a solid road where we should have been able to reach in 2 hours flat. It should have been an all-weather road. What is the condition of the farmers? What is the condition of the overall issues? These are real issues. But can you, how long will the political class or the political parties say that we are bogged down with the Naga issue, this is our topmost priority? Of course, Naga issue is the topmost priority, not just for Nagaland, but for the whole country, whole Northeast, because peace in Nagaland means peace in the Northeast. How do you respond, Mr. Jamir?
Yes, Wasbir, you have raised a very pertinent point. And unemployment is a reality. Be it Nagaland, be it India, I feel that unemployment is a reality, and this is something which needs to be addressed very seriously. Coming to the context of Nagaland, we say that the Naga issue is the most important issue. Why? Because everything related, be it economy, be it employment, be it development, all other related activities are revolve around the Naga issue. Now, as you are very well aware, Nagaland, a small state of Nagaland, is basically a salaried economy. We don't have industries, private sector is yet to pick up, and all this is related to the Naga issue. And therefore, why is the government emphasizing so much on the Naga issue is that only once this final settlement is arrived at, can we talk about development, can we talk about the building up of economy? Because at present, I'm sorry to say, but for the last 25 years, whatever peace we have had, the end of bloodshed, end of violence that we have had is an artificial kind of a situation. Until and unless we have a final settlement to the Naga issue, there is still the worry, that concern in the minds of the people, whether this peace is going to last or not. And that is the similar concern that I suppose investors and private sectors have. Today, we are fortunate that under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Nipi Rio, we have had the Nagaland CSR conclave that was held in August. That is a big step forward in bringing about private investors. And for me, I feel, and also the party feels that, government employment is not the way out. It is through the investors and the private sectors who come in, who can provide these generation of employment.
Now, Mr. Jamir, are you trying to suggest that if the Naga issue is delayed further, you said that everything revolves around the Naga issue. Yes, of course. Now, are you saying that if the Naga issue is to be resolution is to be delayed further, then the things may go out of hand?
No, I'm not saying that. See, I'm saying that there's a positive move with holding the CSR conclave in Nagaland in August, which is a very, very big achievement for the state government. The Union Finance Minister, she herself came personally to launch this CSR, and now we are seeing private investors who are coming in. Now it is a process. We know that investment is not a process that will be completed in a month or two.
Right.
It is a process. It is a positive move, and therefore, yes, we hope that the Naga issue can be settled at the earliest. Else, we are also moving in the right direction of bringing in private investors. That is what I'm trying to convey.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, government employment cannot revive an economy or cannot boost an economy of any state, not just Nagaland. Mr. Ajo Neno, do you think the Naga issue has been holding? Please. Do you think that the Naga issue over the years has been holding development in Nagaland hostage? Has Nagaland been a hostage of the Naga issue? I'm just asking from the context of development. I'm not trying to suggest the Naga issue is not important. I don't want anyone to misunderstand that. I'm saying that development is something which an ordinary people, whether it is Nagas, whether it is anyone else, it's a day-to-day struggle for survival. It's a day-to-day issue. Livelihood options, education, infrastructure, healthcare, these are the basic things which a common person wants, ordinary man wants.
You see, I will agree with my friend Merentoshi. Everything is evolving in Naga political problem and issue. But nevertheless, it may be somewhere hampering or it may be detrimental to development. But nevertheless, 100% it is not blocking the way. With the popular government, developments can continue to pull on. But let me put the Naga political issue in the right perspective. I agree with the NPCC President K. Tere that if there is a political will, everything is possible. But we must also know everything goes step by step. We cannot give a blind check to our national workers without knowing what is being offered. How can we resign? We need to know what is being offered to the Nagas, and I'm made to understand that the common draft is going to come out very soon. Once that is brought to public domain, and if the publics are satisfied, we have agreed to pave the way. So I think we need to also be patient and see the common draft that is about to come out before Christmas.
So that is a very big statement you are making, Mr. Nenu.
Now,
The common,
as you said,
no, Mr. Nenu, the common draft, obviously we all know that there can be only one Naga peace accord. There cannot be a peace accord with NSC and IM, another one with the NNPGs. We all know that there has to be a common peace accord. Therefore, a common draft which is acceptable to both the NSC and IM and NNPGs is important. That is the common draft you are talking about. You are saying that a common draft is coming out before Christmas. Is that the reason? Is that the reason why Mr. Muiva is in New Delhi?
It must be, because after the Calcutta meet, things are going very positively. And coming to the unemployment problem, Meghalaya has less unemployment problem than Nagaland because they know dignity of labor. Now Nagas need to adapt work culture and also need to know the values of dignity of labor. Nagas also need to focus more on skill development and entrepreneurship to eradicate unemployment problem. We also need to promote and encourage private sectors, as my friend Mirintoshi has stated, as encouraging private sectors will be a major contributor to creating jobs.
Right.
I think we need to focus on such things.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will go to Mr. K. Tere, the Nagaland Congress President, before coming back once again to Mr. Monlumo Kikon. But the big breaking story at this point of time is that a common draft on the Naga Peace Accord is likely to come out before Christmas. That is what Mr. Ajo Neno, who is a member of the core committee and the NPF legislature party leader, is saying, has just said on the show tonight. The common Naga Peace Accord draft. Common draft means a draft, which has more or less the approval, not if not the final approval, more or less approved by both the NSC and IM and NNPGs. Now, that has become possible because there has already been 2 rounds of talks between the direct talks between the NSC and IM and the NNPGs. One round of talk took place near Dimapur and the other round was in Calcutta. So this is the background, and Mr. Muiva is already in New Delhi. He has arrived there on a chartered flight maybe 72 hours ago, or maybe less than that. He is in Delhi right now, and it is possible that he is also taking a look at the common draft before it is sent to the state government, or for that matter, the stakeholders themselves formally. So that is the big breaking story at this point in time. Now, Mr. Tere, I was asking Mr. Ajo Neno the question whether everything is held hostage. All development in Nagaland has come to a standstill because everyone is focusing on a resolution of the Naga peace talks. Is that the position? Do you think the government, all the wings of the government have to deal with the Naga peace talks? Certainly not. What is your take?
This is they have spent more than 1 lakh crores in 5 years' time. And they say it is because of political solution. Where is that 1 lakh crore gone in 5 years' time? If they want to use it for development, they can do it. But they are fishing out of troubled water. That is what I have commented from the beginning. Now, I have said from the beginning, if there is a political will, there is a solution. If BJP have committed after 2018, before 2018, agreements were signed. In the election of 2018, they said election for solution. What were they doing 5 years? What were they doing?
But
What is the answer? Do they need another 5 years to promise that? That is
but
one.
lot
The
of yeah.
second thing is, as far as the performance of the state is declared, it is not my word. Niti Aayog has said that Nagaland state is the last number in the performance. We all know this government, whatever we have, we all to Congress. What we have assessed after this 20 years of rule is corruption.
No, but Mr. Terry, lot of people will ask you, you see the talks are going on for 25 years. The BJP government has come only in 2014, 8 years ago. BJP government at the center has come 8 years ago. Most of the time during
Yes.
the first let me complete the question. Most of the time during the last 25 years, it was your party which was ruling
Yes.
both Nagaland as well as the center. So how do you respond?
NACN has never brought any agenda. There's no white paper. They've been always talking, asking for another time. We offered, we have given our agendas to them, but they don't even consider that. I don't think they have given any other paper excepting that 30-point demand or something. They have never brought
Okay.
any concrete agenda. And
So,
therefore, during our time, whatever we have offered, there was no paper. But at least Narendra Modi's time, they have signed framework agreement and working committee agreement. So this should be implemented. It's not a joke. After signing, can somebody say, we have not signed, we need another signature?
okay,
This is not a joke.
Mr. Kikon will respond. Mr. Kikon, yes.
Give me some time because there are two broad issues here. Number one, let me just thank the Congress president for acknowledging that since 2014, despite the 10 years of UPA government, as and when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji came to power, there has been a demonstration of immense political will with regards to the Naga issue. Therefore, the signing of the framework agreement and the agreed position created that atmosphere of hope for everyone. So now let us acknowledge that, and also let us also understand that a negotiation of this magnitude nature cannot come to a closure just on the whims and wishes of some political party. There are technicalities involved, and we all appreciate that. And today, NPF Legislative Party leader Azo has mentioned the direction in which it is going. Those are positive steps which every Naga is appreciating. So if you want to just point out failures, have a debate on that, then I think there are so many issues we can point out. So let us not dwell on the past. Number two, when it comes to development in the state, I mean, you can mention all the amount of money that you have just mentioned, but you'll have to go to details. If you look at the villages, we have already covered 50% of the Jal Jeevan Mission. So we have 50% of tap water connection for the rural sector. If you talk about the urban housing and also the rural housing, we have already completed 20% in the state of Nagaland. If this is not development, what is development? And
Okay.
coverage of Ayushman Bharat scheme. Wait,
All right.
Wasbir, just let me
All
finish this.
right. Oh,
Coverage of Ayushman Bharat scheme, we have already covered
right.
uh,
I will.
about
I will.
65%.
I will have to
PMGSY,
absolutely.
let me finish.
You have
Even
made
PMGSY, we are going to finish 97% of the allotted kilometers per state. If this is not development, what is development?
Okay,
Development is an ongoing thing.
Mr. Kikon,
Development
you have
doesn't
made your
end
point.
because
Mr.
there is
Kikon,
opposition.
you have made your point. I'll go for a very short break. When I come back, I'll go directly to Mr. Merentosi Jamir and to ask him basically, I want to know what does the people think? What is the people's expectations? Are the people's expectations in sync with what the political parties or the political leaders are talking? Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Let me go direct to NDPP leader, Mr. Merentosi Jamir. Mr. Jamir, I mean, do you think that the people, common people, the people in the villages, the ordinary people in the urban areas, do you think they are only concerned about the Naga issue? Let's be realistic. Yes, Naga issue, if it is resolved, one can concentrate and focus on a lot of issues which perhaps the government has not been able to devote as much time as they should have. But do you think honestly that every single Naga, every single ordinary person was struggling with their day-to-day lives? Do you think they are bothered or bogged down about only one political issue?
Oh, Wasbir, see. As I've said, yes, the Naga issue takes forefront in everything.
No doubt.
But at the same time, 25 years of negotiation is a very long time. It's a quarter of a century. And definitely people are now questioning that why is it taking so long?
Yes.
People want a conclusion to this issue. And for that matter, all political parties, in fact, my friends who are here this evening, we are of the same wavelength that there should be a final settlement to the Naga issue at the earliest. Let us not drag this issue on further. And that is why we are impressing upon the negotiating parties, be it the government of India or the Naga national political groups. We are impressing upon them that, come on, let us bring about a final settlement to this issue so that the people can live, can move forward with their lives. That is one. Yes, apart from that, people are not all the same. There are people who are happy, there are people who are unhappy. But I would say that in general, the schemes that have been provided under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister has been benefiting our rural people. And I can state for a fact that at least in Nagaland, the rural sector are very much happy with the kind of schemes and benefits they're receiving today. Yes, in the urban sector, we do have some issues regarding development and employment issues, but which I believe that the way forward is bringing about an early settlement
Right.
to the Naga issue, and also the steps that the government are taking today. I think it is moving in the right direction, and it won't be long before we can have some, a pressure to release the pressure. We'll have some avenues coming in from the private sector.
Right.
I strongly
Now,
believe in this.
right. Before going to Mr. Nenu, one more question to you, Mr. Jamir. Give us a sense. We understand that your leader, Chief Minister, Mr. Nefurio, is working day and night. He is desperately trying to work out an acceptable solution, playing the role of a catalyst. He has been in touch with Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, the NEDA convener in Assam, who is also taking keen interest for an early and acceptable resolution to the Naga issue. Give us a sense of Mr. Rio's style, Mr. Rio's approach to the problem.
Look, our leader, our Honorable Chief Minister, right from the day he has assumed office in 2003, has been very vocal about bringing a settlement to the Indo-Naga issue. Until today, he stands steadfast in his commitment in bringing about a final settlement to the Naga issue. He has very clearly spelled out that he and his colleagues are ready to make way, to pave way in order for a settlement to come about. However, as my senior and friend Mr. Azonino has said, that it is not very simple for elected legislators to just step down unless there is a commitment or there is a positive response that there is going to be a final settlement.
No,
After all, we live in a democracy.
But you know, but one thing you are from what you are saying, I am getting a sense that Mr. Nefirio has made it clear, at least to colleagues within the party, that he is ready to pave way. He is ready to make way. If at all there is a solution, he is ready to get out of the way.
Not just to the party, he has very clearly spelled out in public. In his public speeches, he has said that we are ready to pave way for any settlement that is arrived at.
What does it mean? What does it mean? We are ready to pave way means what does it mean?
It means that if there is a final settlement or if there is a positive way forward, then they will not cling on to their position. They will not, by sitting in the chair, they will not hamper, they will not allow that the Naga settlement is affected. That is what we say, what our honorable chief ministers and our leaders are saying, that we will pave way. It does not mean that just so that to bring about settlement that we are going to pave way right now. No. There has to be some commitment from both sides.
See, I have tonight such important political leaders on my show, the movers and shakers of politics in Nagaland. I have to ask this question to Mr. Ajo Nenu. Mr. Nenu, the people would like to get a sense, and we journalists are very good at speculating, and I would like to take the opportunity to once again ask some direct questions to you. Mr. Monlumo is smiling, but I'll have to ask him as well. Now, Mr. Nenu, you made a very important statement. Yes, we can deduce from circumstantial happenings that Mr. Muiva, everybody knows that he is not keeping very well. Despite that, he has gone to Delhi at this point in time, which makes, which if we add 2 plus 2 to what you said, that a common draft is coming soon. After that, suppose a common draft is accepted and a solution is arrived at by Christmas, what will be the roadmap? What happens then?
You see, our UDA leader, Mr. Rio, and the UDA government, unanimously, we have decided to pave way. Pave way means once this common draft comes out and it is put in public domain, and once public accepts it, that means we will resign from our respective posts and we will allow the interim government to come in. But now you must know what is the common draft. Common draft is a compilation of agreed position and the competency clauses, because there is going to be only one agreement.
Yes.
But as I stated, everything goes step by step. We cannot give a blind check to any national workers. So unless we see the common draft and the public accept it, we cannot resign from our respective posts.
Now, one more clarification. Are we to understand that the common draft which is going to come out, that will have the approval already of the NSCNIM and the NNPGs?
Yes, it has to have their approval.
Right.
The government of India will bring out a common draft which will be accepted by the 7 NPGG and also the IM. Then it will be put to public domain for public consumption.
So this is another very significant statements coming out that once the common draft, which will have the approval, obviously, of both the NSC and IM and the NNPGs, once it is out in the public domain and the core committee or the government and the people accept it, then the government will resign. That the government will resign and pave the way for installation of an interim government. I remember that was the case after the Mizo Accord was signed in 1986. The government of Pulalthan Haula resigned. The government of Pulalthan Haula, the Congress chief minister, had resigned, paving the way for the installation of Pul Aldenga as the interim chief minister. Elections were held only after that. So I'm coming to you, Mr. Kikon, but so Mr. Ajoneno, that could well be something like that. We don't know, but I'm just discussing. It could be something like on those lines, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be on that line.
Now, lot of people will be, I'm coming to you, Mr. Tere and Mr. Merentosi as well, but Mr. Kikon, lot of people, you know, yes, I know that there is a opposition-less government in Nagaland. All of you, except Mr. Tere, are part of the opposition-less government. Even before that, you were a part of the NDPP coalition. Now, my question is, you know, since you may not have as many number of people in the assembly, but since you represent a party, BJP, which is at the power at the center with a vast majority under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now the question is, lot of people will expect the BJP in Nagaland to play a little more active role in trying to impress upon the party leaders at the center, isn't it? And what have you been doing?
Wasbir, I want to thank you for asking this question. Today, the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the most popular Prime Minister in the world, not just India. And his initiative towards every issue, big or small, has been seen. Starting from the very fact that after getting elected as the Prime Minister, he visited Nagaland the same year, which has not been the case with his predecessor. So there has been continuous engagement of union ministers in the northeastern region. The development of India cannot happen without the development of Northeast.
Yes.
That has been his statement. And in the Northeast, you would have seen now that the entire northeastern region is under either BJP or BJP alliance partners' government. So this is how the public has demonstrated their faith in the party and the Honorable Prime Minister. Now coming back to our issue, there has been a tireless effort by the BJP legislature and the party to fulfill our role as facilitators. Not just in Nagaland, also in Assam, you would see the leadership role taken by Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. Everyone is involved in ensuring that there is peace and there is a resolution of this issue in a positive manner. And this is the role that we've been playing. Of course, we've not been, in a way, we don't want to publicize everything that we do.
Yes.
But the effort and the sincerity of the BJP, both in Nagaland and Northeast, can only be applauded, but never doubted.
Right. Mr. Jamir, I'm coming to you next, Mr. Terry. Mr. Jamir, the roadmap, it is very, very clear. A lot of differences have been narrowed down. Now, what is the sense you are getting? Now, if we are to get a common draft by Christmas, if we are really to get a common draft by Christmas, that means the government of India must have worked out a middle path to address the core demand of the NSC and IM, that of a flag and constitution. Are we to understand? Is that the sense we are supposed to get, that some kind of a middle path has already been arrived at, that the NSCN may have also accepted that middle path, whatever it is, we don't know, of course.
Look, Wasbir, as mentioned earlier by the other panelists, the state government is only a facilitator.
Right.
We are not participants to the negotiations, and neither are we participants to the talks. And therefore, what is being discussed between the government of India and the negotiating parties, we are not aware. I feel that my fellow panelists are Mr. Azo, who is the co-convener of the UDA, and also my friend Mr. Monlombo. Maybe they'll have a better picture since they are in the committees. However, whatever, if there is going to be a common draft, I feel that it is moving in the right direction, and perhaps the government of India and the NSC and IM, with whom they have the contention with right now, as you have mentioned regarding the flag and the constitution, perhaps there have been inroads that have been made between the government of India and NSC and IM, and therefore the roadmap for the common draft is being explored. And therefore, here, if that is so, as a political party, the NDPP fully supports this move to have a common draft between the government of India and the negotiating parties, because that is the right track that we should be taking
Correct.
towards achieving the final settlement.
Absolutely, absolutely, no doubt about that, absolutely. Now, Mr. Terry, you are, as the Congress leader, you are in an unenviable position in Nagaland today because you are almost the only opposition party in the state. Now, what are you going to talk about in the coming elections? What will be your election agenda?
BJP has betrayed. They have betrayed the mandate of the people. They were given mandate because they said election for solution. So let them come with another word. I don't know what they're going to say. Today, whatever development activities they're talking about, I don't want to waste time on here. As you see, there is no erratic power supply. There is no water supply to Kohima, Dimapur. You see, any of the development activity, 35 years, an indoor stadium of Dimapur has not been, state indoor stadium of Dimapur has not been able to complete. They have drawn more than 200 crores over High Court, and they have not been able to complete. You call medical, you call engineering college, you call anything. They have not finished. They have not been able to commission anything. And they're talking about rural villages. They're not talking about blank check. Force open VDB secretaries and VCCs. If you don't sign on this blank check, we will stop your allotment of MG Nrega. This is the intimidation given to the village councils, village leaders, and this is what they do. I don't want to talk all these issues waste your time. But the point I want to make clarify is facilitation. What do you mean by facilitation? Facilitating them by giving money, protection with administration and police, giving them logistics support. Is it that facilitation to the solution? No. Now the framework agreement is there, agreed points are there. Within that area, if Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers or core committee wanted to bring any solution,
Okay.
sit with
All right.
IM and also the core committee and
Okay.
find out the agendas.
All
Then
right.
you conclude. Otherwise, what is the common?
Okay, you are once again,
Just
yes,
one second.
absolutely,
Come
absolutely.
on, draft. I was told come on, draft.
Right, right. Mr.
I
Terry,
said come on, draft.
I'm,
Since you have agreed to settle within
I don't have
Union of
really
India,
much time.
and
I
there
don't
will
have,
be no,
Mr.
there will
Terry,
be no interstate boundary changes.
you have made the
Then
point.
what more?
You have made your point. Once again, you are trying to hold the state government responsible. You want that the state government can bring about a solution or implement the framework agreements, but whether or not that is the case is left for everyone else to decide. Final comments from you, Mr. Ajo Neno. I am completely run out of time. Mr. Neno, how do you see the road ahead? Are you optimistic now at this stage?
You see, the whole Nagas is expecting that there will be a logical conclusion to the Naga political talks. And as you have correctly stated, if this common draft comes out, that means somewhere down the line, both the factions, that is 7 and PGG, and also the IM, has come to a certain agreement as far as the constitution and flag is. So we're very positively expecting a solution before election. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think that is the mood. Now that speculation about a possible solution before or around Christmas is once again gaining ground. Now the big statement coming in today is that there could be a common draft agreement which will have the endorsement of both the NSC and IM and NNPGs. They are likely to be out, likely to be placed in the public domain before or around Christmas. And if that actually happens, that would mean automatically that there has been some understanding, some middle path evolved by the negotiating parties as far as the NSC and IM's demand for a flag and constitution is concerned. So let's hope for the best. Everybody is of course expecting an early solution that is honorable and acceptable. We'll keep a close watch on the developments as far as the Naga political issue is concerned. And of course, the things are beginning to get interesting because the elections are due in Nagaland in about 6 months' time. Another big statement tonight is that clear-cut statement made by Mr. Ajo Neno said that the government of Mr. Nefirio, with the participation of parties like the NDPP, NPF and the BJP, they're absolutely clear. If there is an agreement, the government is going to resign and there will be an interim government installed. That means there will be a leader from the Naga national groups or the Naga rebel groups who are negotiating. One of those leaders may be installed as the interim Chief Minister of Nagaland, who knows. And if that happens, that will be in line with the situation in Mizoram in 1986 when the Mizo Accord was signed. Mr. Lalthan Hawla, the Congress Chief Minister, stepped down and Mr. Laldenga, the leader of the MNF, was installed as the interim Chief Minister. Only after that, elections were held and the MNF, of course, won that first elections and Mr. Laldenga became the Chief Minister once again, and thereafter, that is history. Thanks all my panelists for participating in the program and the viewers for watching the show. Good night and goodbye.